Good evening and welcome to the Bellingham City Council regular meeting. Today is Monday, September 13th, 2021. So calling the meeting to order and beginning with announcements and upcoming meetings. Bellingham City Council meets all requirements of the State of Washington Open Public Meetings Act. And we have 4 announcements about upcoming public hearings. So the first is that on September 27th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m., there will be a public hearing for consideration of amendments to the Bellingham Comprehensive Plan and Municipal Code for the residential multi-project. The second announcement is that on September 27th, 2021 at 7 p.m., there will be a public hearing for consideration of changes to the Bellingham Municipal Code, Section 20.15. This is temporary shelters for people experiencing homelessness. Currently, shelter sites are limited to 2 years. The proposal would allow up to 3 one-year renewals for sites that meet proposed criteria, and that would end in a total of 5 years. The third announcement of an upcoming meeting is that on October 11th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m., there will be a public hearing to consider a draft ordinance amending Title VII of the Bellingham Municipal Code to revise setback requirements for beekeeping. And the fourth and final announcement is that on that same day, October 11th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m., there will be a public hearing to consider a request from the Bellingham School District to amend the Capital Facilities and Utilities chapter of the 2016 Bellingham Comprehensive Plan to incorporate the district's new capital facility plan by reference. And that is the end of announcements, and we will move to roll call, please.
Hannah Stone?
Here.
Dan Hamill?
Here.
Pinky Vargas?
Here.
Lisa Anderson?
Here.
Michael Lilliquist?
Here.
Holly Huffman?
Here.
And Jean Knudsen is excused.
Thank you very much. And so this evening, we are going to begin with the mayor's report. And for that, we are going to turn to our mayor, Seth Fleetwood.
Greetings, Council.
Good evening.
Just in the nick of time. So, brief report this evening. Just a little update about Climate Week and some comments about COVID. So I'm going to use part of my mayor's report tonight for a brief COVID-19 update and to urge community members to get their vaccinations and continue to be vigilant to help reduce COVID. Among the critical concerns in hospitalizations with hospital capacity very low statewide and locally. Peace Health Regional Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Carla Pudi, was quoted in the newspaper today, stating that Peace Health St. Joseph set another record high for COVID patients over the weekend. Dr. Carla Pudi said, quote, Peace Health and our caregivers are going to be prepared for most of the challenges we are going to face with COVID. But importantly, he added that, quote, without the help of the community, they will not be 100% successful. I want to join Dr. Carla Pudi in urging area residents to renew their efforts to avoid contracting and spreading COVID. These efforts include wearing a mask in public, avoiding large indoor and outdoor crowds, practicing social distancing, washing hands, and getting vaccinated. This rise in COVID cases in late summer has affected many people, businesses, and agencies. It has postponed further city government, in-person services, and in-person meetings. It has affected some city events planned prior to the summer spike in case numbers, including some All In for Climate Week events, which leads me to climate. The third annual All In for Climate Action Week is Monday, September 20th through Sunday, September 26th. While a few in-person events were canceled, others are proceeding as planned. This week of fun and informative events for All Ages celebrates the knowledge and resources available to address climate-related challenges. At the City of Bellingham, we are all in on climate actions to help slow climate change that is damaging our health and our environment. Our goal in Bellingham is to become a fully carbon-free city. Towards this end, we believe it's imperative to take continuous actions. We have and will continue to do so. Local residents have taken the pledge to go all in as well, and we encourage everyone to look at how they can contribute. All In for Climate Week is a great chance to learn how you can do more. If each of us acts together, we will make a difference. For more information about All In for Climate Week, visit cob.org/climate. And that's it for me tonight. Back to you, Council President Stone.
Thank you, Mayor Fleetwood. And I'm glad you mentioned the All In for Climate Action Week. That was on my list of things to mention this evening as well. I was actually excited. My son goes to Bellingham High School. And so Bellingham, now the Bellingham Bayhawks, they have gone through a mascot change and have a new principal, Marty Atkins. And in the recent Bayhawk Beacon that they send out to all the students and parents and families, there was an announcement about All In Climate Action Week and the events going on. So I'm hopeful that, members of the community of all ages will be participating in the events of next week. So thank you very much for that announcement. So moving forward with committee reports. So this afternoon, we had one busy, long committee meeting, committee of the whole. And so before us, we had a number of items, the first of which was Agenda Bill 23000. So this was an update on implementation of interim housing strategies or shelter for those experiencing houselessness or homelessness. So staff from the City of Bellingham and Whatcom County Human Services, with guidance from the Homeless Strategies Work Group, completed a needs assessment that included an inventory of current shelter options operated throughout the county and available to people who are experiencing homelessness. Upon completion of the inventory of services and the identification of needs and gaps, a set of recommendations was created for the Homeless Strategies Work Group's consideration. The Homeless Strategy Work Group approved the recommendations at their April 16th, 2021 meeting. Subsequently, the County Council accepted the recommendations at their May 4th meeting, and the City Council of Bellingham adopted and accepted those same recommendations on May 24th of this year, 2021. So staff provided a progress update to the City Council. We were joined by Tara Sundin with Planning and Community Development Department and Ann Deacon from the Whatcom County Health Department. And just wanted to highlight in the packet, there were a couple of items included, that being the staff memo, as well as the shelter progress summary and interim housing implementation strategies, which were those recommendations that came forward and were voted on earlier in the year. But one of the just highlights is, and definitely there seemed to be broad support from the council, is to acknowledge the fact that homelessness and the strides that we've been taking to provide shelter as well as housing is something much larger than Bellingham, and that we face struggles here, not only within Whatcom County, but also regionally, in trying to make efforts moving forward and calling on our own Mayor Fleetwood, as well as the county executive, Satpal Sadhu, to really take strides to reach out to the neighboring counties, that being San Juan County, Island County, Skagit County, and Snohomish, to figure out how we collectively meet the needs of our community in this region. And so we expect more to come, but also would encourage members of the community to look back at that session earlier today. It's really encouraging and pretty remarkable, the amount of funding and resources that are being provided, on these issues. And one of the priorities that we've made recently is to families with children. And so looking at, roughly $16 million investment from the county and $22 million investment at the city level to address these concerns and needs is certainly, more than a drop in the bucket, but acknowledging that there's more to be done. So expecting additional progress reports to come forward. But the other thing we were looking at was just the increased, capacity here within Bellingham and Whatcom County. So the Next item before us this afternoon was Agenda Bill 23086. This was consideration of interlocal agreement with Whatcom County for a homeless communications strategy. So the interlocal agreement provides funding for reading communications to work in partnership with the City of Bellingham, Whatcom County, and local community organizations to gather information, develop a communication strategy, and create a resource toolkit to be used as needed to inform and mobilize the community about the challenges and solutions regarding homelessness in Whatcom County. And so this afternoon, there was a motion to approve the interlocal agreement as presented in our packet. That was brought forward unanimously, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made by the chair and a second by Councilmember Lillquist. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor will say aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? So seeing none, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Knudsen excused. Okay. So the next item before us this afternoon was Agenda Bill 23092. This was a proposed ordinance accepting donation of Hillside Estates Stormwater Facility. So the Hillside Estates Stormwater Facility is a privately owned facility located in the city of Bellingham. The Homeowners Association has offered to donate this facility to the city. Acceptance of this donation would ensure the proper maintenance of the facility and would be consistent with public ownership of stormwater facilities throughout the city. The city completed a Phase 1 environmental site assessment and a title review of the subject property. There were no environmental or title issues identified. So staff recommended that council accept the donation by adopting the attached proposed ordinance as authorized by Chapter 4.90 of the Bellingham Municipal Code. This afternoon, the council moved unanimously to pass the ordinance, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made by the chair and a second by Councilmember Vargas. Any additional discussion from council? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Knudsen excused. The next item is Agenda Bill 23102. This was a bid award for job order contracting construction services, bid number 26B2021. The city publicly advertised a request for proposals. This was number 26B2021, soliciting qualified firms to perform general construction work in accordance with the city's job order contracting program. The city received 5 responses, which were opened on July 7th, 2021 with respect to Phase 1, and on July 20th, 2021 with respect to Phase 2. Forma Construction and Cola Cachuyo Brothers were identified as having offered the lowest responsible proposals. The general contractor's adjustment factor was within the engineer's estimate. So the initial term of the contracts are for 2 years with a minimum commitment of $100,000, and state law allows additional work, but not guaranteed, up to $4 million per year if funds are available, with a maximum of $350,000 per approved job work order. And so this afternoon, there was a unanimous vote during Committee of the Whole to authorize this contract, and I so move. Second. Motion's been made by the chair and a second by Councilmember Huffman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Knudsen excused. The next item was Agenda Bill 23103. So this is a report from the September 1st, 2021 Lake Whatcom Policy Group meeting. Lake Whatcom Policy Group, consisting of representatives from the Lake Whatcom Water and Sewer District, the Whatcom County Council, the Sudden Valley Community Association, and the Bellingham City Council, meets regularly to discuss policy issues regarding Lake Whatcom. The Public Works and Natural Resources Committee Chair, Councilmember Lillquist, provided a briefing on the discussion and recommendations from the September 1st, 2021 Policy Group meeting. And in the packet, you can find summaries of those particular items. First was related to water quality data reports and updates related to tributary monitoring, as well as updated phosphorus loading model. The second was Lake Whatcom Overlay District regulation revisions, followed by wildlife risk management updates, and then land managers coordination to address increasing unauthorized bike trails on public lands, and then looking at topics for the next meeting. And so the next meeting is December 1st of this year, and we will expect more updates to come forward at that time. If people want additional information about the work of the Lake Whatcom Policy Group, I wanted to let members of the community know that that information is available on the city website. The next item was Agenda Bill 23091. So this is opportunities for public engagement with the City Council. So during Committee of the Whole, Council President provided an update regarding the new public comment session that will commence on September 20th, 2021. This was for information only, and just wanting to let the community know that those meetings have been set. So there will be 8 meetings beginning next week, September 20th. And I was going to pull up that attachment, but just let people know that the, one second, and I will share screen. Oh, I did it backwards now. I have too many monitors. If I put it on the wrong screen. Okay. So basically it was just to make sure that the community knows that we're moving forward with opportunities for public comment. And I wanted to make a couple of things clear. So on screen 2. Okay. So first, just acknowledging that these meetings will be held, in these public comment periods, will be held on Mondays. And those will be, so similar to the regular council meetings, those will be on Mondays at 7 p.m. So this will be on Mondays when there's not a city council regular meeting. And they will be held at this point in time virtually as our committee meetings as well as our regular meeting. And it'll be via Zoom. And so that Zoom link is cob.org/comment Zoom. And so we have the 8 dates, which will be available in a press release coming out soon. And wanted to just highlight the fact that this will be an opportunity for, there will be at most all of the meetings, 3 council members present. So short of a quorum to avoid any concern about conducting council business outside of a council meeting, but really focusing this time on an opportunity for members of the public to come forward and participate in public comment, and having that time not limited in the way that it has been when included within the regular meeting. So a time when, as council members, we show up committed to listen, and a time for community members to come forward and share their concerns or their ideas or whatever the case may be. And so wanting to also just highlight that that will be similar to public comment periods as people have been accustomed in the past, where each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. In addition, members who attend will be able to raise their hand and be called on in the order in which people show up or sign up. And so you will need to be present to participate. So I think of this as sort of a community meeting and a community opportunity for individuals to come forward. And so all attendees will be present in the same Zoom meeting, all on equal footing as panelists, and an opportunity for us to listen to public comment. And then wanting to highlight as well that in addition to this public comment and these public comment sessions, the additional ways in which members of the community can continue to engage with Bellingham City Council. So obviously attending meetings and staying engaged in that respect, as well as providing potentially live testimony during scheduled public hearings. As you heard in the announcements this evening, we have a number of public hearings coming up with the next few meetings. So that's always an opportunity for members of the public to comment on that specific topic being covered by that particular public hearing. Then providing written testimony if individuals don't want to speak during a public hearing, but still have commentary that they would like to provide with respect to a particular topic, encouraging that written testimony to be provided at the link indicated here. In addition, the ability to provide written public comment at any time, view other comments, as well as share comments on social media using Engage Bellingham. And so the Engage Bellingham link is here as well as on our council website under the link of public comment. In addition, members of the public can always contact the City Council in full at ccmail@cob.org or at our individual email addresses, and our individual contact information is included on the City Council website. In addition, receiving letters at the City Council office as well as phone calls to the City Council office or to us individually as council members. So just wanting to, and this will be shared as well with the city clerk in order to make sure that it's included in the online action summary from this meeting. But just wanting to make sure that members of the public are aware of those actions coming forward. I'm looking forward to getting started next week. And so we will proceed in that manner through the end of the year. And then at the beginning of next year, during our reorg, we'll discuss sort of the pros and cons and how things have gone and explore next steps. So thank you very much for everyone's willingness to at least see how that works, and we'll go from there. But so then today, let's see. We will do approval of minutes. So we had minutes from our August 30th meeting for consideration.
Move approval.
Second.
That motion's been made by Councilmember Huffman and a second by Councilmember Vargas. Any corrections or comments from council? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay, so that passes 5-0 with one abstention being Councilmember Hamel and one excused being Councilmember Knudsen. Okay, old and new business. Any items for old and new business this evening? Councilmember Vargas.
Thank you. Not necessarily old or new business, but if I could, I just wanted to add one of the items today, the update on the implementation of the interim housing. We also had an opportunity to say thank you to Ann Deacon, who has been an amazing partner for us, the county and city, and the way she has worked with Tara Sandine and the city has been amazing. And Councilmember Hamel might want to say something more on that. He did a great job today. But we just wanted to say how much we appreciate all the work that she has done over the years. And we are so grateful for her service and her partnership. And we had the opportunity to tell her that today in today's meeting. So that was wonderful. And then the other thing was that one of the highlights that I thought came out of today's meeting was we're always talking about extending winter shelter and ensuring that we have other opportunities when places like base camp get full, and that Christ the King has offered to extend and do a program for us this year that will start in October, so earlier in the season, and will extend all the way till March, which will be hosted in the old drop-in center down on Holly Street. So two things that I thought were very significant that happened in that meeting today. Thank you for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilmember Vargas. Yes, echoing great appreciation for Ann Deacon and her years of service. And thank you for highlighting that. It was special for us to be able to meet with her this week and in her last week on the job. And and just great appreciation for everything that she's done and the groundwork she's laid for us to be able to go forward. Councilmember Hamel.
I'll keep it brief, but one of the things that we've been talking about recently that's gotten a lot of public attention is unarmed response for certain behavioral health calls, and Deacon was instrumental in helping us to gather the data and work with EMS to understand what types of calls that we could potentially respond to. She was also instrumental in the ground level response and coordinated engagement, or GRACE program, law enforcement assisted diversion program. And I know the one thing that she considers really like kind of her baby is the crisis stabilization center out in Iron Gate, which is going to be, it's already treating people. So I think it's just, it's important to highlight the collaboration between the city and the county. And so much of that is personality driven. and she was at the center of it. So I just want to just again thank her for all the work that she's done over the years. And you may not know this, the public may not know this, but she was a warden for a prison years and years ago. So if you can imagine that, she spent 50 years of her life directly serving people who need help. And I think that's just fantastic. What a career. And I hope that she's really proud of the work that she's done. Thanks.
Yes, it'll be a retirement well-deserved, and hopefully she'll get some rest and be able to enjoy it, and then see sort of the fruits of all the labor that she's put in, and hopefully the continued progress we'll be able to make. And wanted to thank Councilmember Vargas also for bringing up the Christ the King partnership, and just noting that in the packet, one of the corrections that Tara Sandine, I believe, made during the day was that it had stated that there were 30 additional winter shelter beds, but that actually would be 40 additional beds provided during those winter months. So great strides made with capacity, but we acknowledge there's still work to be done, but we're chipping away at it. So that's good. Any other items for old or new business? Okay. Seeing none, we also had executive session. So this afternoon, there were 4 items before us in executive session. The first was litigation, Lev versus City of Bellingham. Special counsel provided information on a litigation matter. And the action coming from this meeting is to entertain a motion to continue today's meeting of September 13th, 2021 City Council meeting to September 20th, 2021 at 1:00 p.m. This would be to conduct an executive session, in this case, Lev versus City of Bellingham. The link to the virtual meeting on September 20th, 2021 at 1:00 p.m. will be posted on the city's website. So this is it. Entertain a motion. Okay. So motion from Councilmember Vargas and Councilmember Hamel. Can I give you that second? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Knudsen excused. The second item before us this afternoon was another litigation matter. This is Hanlon versus City of Bellingham. Outside counsel and legal staff provided information on a litigation matter. This was for information and discussion only, and no action was taken. The third item was a potential property acquisition. Legal staff provided information on a potential property acquisition. This was for information and discussion only, and no action was taken. The fourth and final item was also a potential property acquisition, where legal staff provided information on a potential property acquisition. This too was for information and discussion only, and no action was taken. Consent agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilmember Hamel and a second by Councilmember Lillquist. Any changes or discussion from council? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Knudsen excused. Final consideration of ordinances.
Agenda Bill 23088, an ordinance relating to the vacation of the full width of Stewart Road, abutting parcel numbers 380211-165469, 30211-231475, and 30211-200375 in Bellingham.
Any discussion from council?
Move third and final.
Second. Okay, so motion's been made by Councilmember Hamel and a second by Councilmember Huffman. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Dan Hamel,
Aye.
Holly Huffman,
Aye.
Michael Lillquist,
Aye.
Hannah Stone,
Aye.
Pinky Vargas,
Aye.
Lisa Anderson.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 6-0 with Jean Knutson excused. And before I go to the next one, I'll defer to Alan Mariner, the city attorney. I think he had some things to say on this one.
Yeah, I would just like to take a moment to highlight a change to the next ordinance, the Center Street vacation ordinance that's in your packet for third and final. The compensation that the petitioner, Parberry Inc., paid to the city for the vacation of the right-of-way has been increased from $84,000, which is what council voted on, to $112,000 to correct errors in the square footage and fair market value per square foot used to calculate that compensation amount that was included in the ordinance that you did a first and second reading on. A memo and the red line ordinance and a clean ordinance is in your agenda bill packet. The memo explains how the errors occurred, and Parberry has paid the full $112,000. And I think it's okay to proceed with that disclosure and acknowledgement of that amount. It's okay to proceed with third and final. I just wanted to highlight that the ordinance has been slightly changed from the one that you did first and second on.
Move third and final.
Second.
I'll just go ahead and make the title for the record.
Yep. Thank you, Deputy Clerk Oaks.
Sure. It's an ordinance relating to the vacation of the full width of Center Street, abutting lots 1 through 16, Block 6, Town of Whatcom Supplemental in Bellingham.
I had a move third and final from Councilmember Vargas and a second by Councilmember Hamel. Those still stand? Yes. Okay. Any further discussion or questions for City Attorney Mariner? No. Okay. Seeing none, all in favor will say aye. Oh, sorry. Roll call.
It's okay. Holly Huffman,
Aye.
Michael Blomquist,
Aye.
Hannah Stone,
Aye.
Pinky Vargas,
Aye.
Lisa Anderson,
Aye.
Dan Hamel.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 6-0 with Jean Knutson excused. Agenda Bill 23044, an ordinance adding a new chapter 6.53 to the Bellingham Municipal Code to regulate third-party food delivery platforms.
Move third and final.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilmember Huffman and a second by Councilmember Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Michael Lillquist,
Aye.
Hannah Stone,
Aye.
Pinky Vargas,
Aye.
Lisa Anderson,
Aye.
Dan Hamel,
Aye.
Holly Huffman.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 6-0 with Jean Knutson excused. Agenda Bill 23093, an ordinance amending the 2021-2022 biennial budget, increasing revenues and expenditures in the general fund and adding and increasing positions.
Move third and final.
Second. Motion's been made by Councilmember Anderson and a second by Councilmember Huffman. Any discussion from council? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Michael Lillquist,
Aye.
Hannah Stone,
Aye.
Pinky Vargas,
Aye.
Lisa Anderson,
Aye.
Dan Hamel,
Aye.
Holly Huffman.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 6-0 with Jean Knutson excused.
Thank you very much, Deputy Clerk Oaks. Is there any further business before the council this evening? Seeing none, I would just announce that next Monday, then September 20th, we will have a continuation of executive session. So we'll have a meeting on September 20th at 1:00 p.m. And again, that link for the meeting will be shared on our website. In addition, we will have a public comment session that evening at 7:00 p.m. And then our next regularly scheduled council meeting will be September 27th. So until then, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Good night. We are adjourned.